Beau Allen will not complete his career as a Kentucky Wildcat. KSR has learned the quarterback Lexington Catholic product is transferring from Kentucky just before the start of the 2022 season. He spent 2 years in Lexington, completed 11 of 19 passes for just under 200 yards. He also scrambled for a touchdown, appeared in 5 games, primarily served as the backup. And now Kentucky, the quarterback room is looking a little bit thin, Adam Luckett.
Yeah, big news here. Beau Allen, class of 2020 signing. I think it's important to realize as we get into this what really Beau Allen was, Nick. Kentucky had a string of missing on their top quarterback targets there for a very long time. Obviously, the most famous ones, Mac Jones, Jaron Williams. You can go on the list. Connor Bazelak, I think you could throw in there. A bunch of others. So Beau Allen was really a huge win at the time. This was back at Eddie Gran, Darren Henshaw, coming off that 2018 season, going into that 2019 season, and then even keeping him dialed in at the time. Beau Allen was a guy who Mike Leach really liked at the time at Washington State. David Cutcliffe liked a lot at Duke. Two guys who are very much known for QB scouting and development. And so this was a legitimate big recruiting win for Kentucky to keep a kid from Lexington Catholic in your own backyard, and kind of led to that resurgent kind of recruiting boom we saw in the state there when Vince Merrill kind of took over recruiting responsibility. So expectations were high for Beau, but this whole time I think Beau Allen was a guy who needed to really kind of develop in a system. 2-3 years, learn a system, master it, become a starter. Unfortunately, he saw 3 coordinators and 3 position coach in 3 seasons at Kentucky. And so you have all that turnover combined with these different systems. And I think ultimately add in that Will Levis hit in the transfer portal. I think ultimately it led to this moment right here. And I think it's kind of safe to assume at this point that either Deuce Hogan beat him out in the spring or it was a very, very close call. And so you have all these contributing factors. And now you look up and Kentucky has 3 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster heading into next season.
Now, despite not really making a big impact on the field, you alluded to it. He really did make an impact on that recruiting class. That was the highest ranked recruiting class in Kentucky football history at the time. The entire defensive line, the starting defensive line, is going to be from that 2020 recruiting class coming in this year that Allen helped bring in. So to get that early, to really give some momentum was significant. And like you said, that he didn't have the time. And you also had the transfer portal success where Will Levis has been such a bona fide hit that Kentucky would be doing a disservice if they didn't go exploring in the transfer portal after this upcoming season. They just have to, because they have the capital to go out there and say, look at this proof of concept we have. You can come here and be the guy. And where Allen had a lot of tools that some other guys didn't have. He was accurate. He's good with his timing routes and intermediate throws. If you watch him throw those deep balls compared to Will Levis, it's just not the same. And Kentucky, they can go out, they can explore, they can big fish hunt. And it's not any. He's leaving on good terms. There's not any ill will on this portion, but it's just the kind of the reality that Kentucky is currently at with their quarterback recruiting.
Yeah, and you're just seeing some of these misses now are in a bigger spotlight in these last few classes. They didn't sign a quarterback. Well, Destin Wade in 2022, but we'll have to see. It doesn't look like they're signing a quarterback in 2023. Kaya Sharon was the signee in 2021, and he is obviously more of a kind of a wait-and-see prospect at the moment. So you really don't know what you have there, and that it gets into the big worry going into the season. Because as you talked about, they are going to visit the portal. They should have a lot to sell a portal quarterback, and they're going to address this position via the transfer portal. And it wouldn't be a surprise if they maybe take a flyer late on maybe a 2023 quarterback, high school quarterback. But as we stand right now, quarterback depth is it's a worry spot. Obviously we don't want to no one wants to get there, Everybody wants Will Levis in the lineup, but what happens if he had to miss some time? Who plays there?
Yeah.
Deuce Hogan's coming over, former similar recruiting profile to Beau Allen. Same class of 2020, out of Texas, goes to Iowa. He's got more upsides from a physical trait standpoint. I think most people would agree. Size, arm, movement ability, all that. But maybe a better fit in kind of what this pro style offense Rich Gangarello wants to run. He's going to be your QB2 as of right now, it seems like, and he's a walk on right now. And so you never want your QB2 to be a walk on,
right,
usually.
Right.
So that's a worry, I think, going into the year. And we've talked about it a ton. The QB recruiting just has to improve. It has to get better. They have to get it fixed. And hopefully it doesn't bite them in the rear here like it did in 2019 when they didn't have any quarterback depth really. Terry Wilson goes down, and then they had to scrap it and pretty much run the triple option with Lynn Bowden.
And you thought you got it right with Beau Allen, but times are a little bit different than when his dad was at Kentucky in the late 80s. The transfer portal people weren't moving around all the time. Bill was a 4-year guy who was a backup until his senior season. And he got a lot of run in then and then moved on. I think in a different age, Beau would have been content doing that. But now that we're in this transfer portal era, he's still got 4 years of eligibility. He can find better opportunities elsewhere. And, we wish him the best of luck. Excited to see what's next for him. But it's just the day and age of college football we're in. You're going to see a lot more moving parts now than you used to.
All these quarterbacks that come in now, Nick, you have to expect the majority of them are going to leave your program before their eligibility or expires or they enter the NFL draft.
Yeah,
that's just how the game is played. But it's also why Kentucky needs to be more aggressive and probably bring in some quarterbacks in, starting in this recruiting cycle we're in right now, the 2023 class plus the transfer portal. But for Beau Allen, he moves on, and I think it's really kind of a combination of modern day, kind of the era we're in, and it was just a lot has changed since he committed to Kentucky back when he was entering his senior year at Lexington Catholic.
We wish him the best. In Levis, we trust. Need the big blue ball to keep him healthy, and need you to subscribe to the KSR YouTube channel and also subscribe to 11 Personnel on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. For Adam Luckett, I'm Nick Roush. See you later.